Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, karibu sana, karibu sana. This is Kenya Revolutionary. Revolutionary. Karibu sana, karibu sana. I'll give you guys a few minutes to grab what you need to grab to join me. If you want to join me in the studio, I'll put the link up so we can discuss what you're about to talk about. Today, I want to explore this avenue. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, aka Riggy. Is it possible that he might join hands with Raila in 2027? Is it possible? Somebody was bringing that idea. Personally, I don't think so, but what do you think? They seems to be speaking one language. One man, one shilling. You know how I feel about, I don't agree with this one man, one shilling thing, but, excuse me, seems like Raila Odinga and Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, they are reading from one script. They both agree on that. One man, one shilling. Now, we both know why they are. They're kind of pro this one man, one shilling idea. Basically, for those of you who might not know, the one man, one shilling thing is basically referring to the idea of allocating national resources, funds to counties based on how populated they are. So if you have a highly densely populated county, they should receive more money since the assumption is more people are probably working and paying taxes there, so they deserve more money there, okay? But again, which favors, central province by that? Because central province, if you talk about Kiambu, Nairobi, those counties are densely populated. I mean, they have high population and there are people, a lot of people work there in those counties, and we can get to that. But again, for someone like me and among million others, we are arguing that no. This is not a good idea because while you can have counties that are densely populated who have a high population, there are some counties, maybe on the northeast region, which might have low population but are underdeveloped, that might need just as much money allocated to them for development. That way it can, be developed and attract more investment and businesses so people can actually basically move there after that, okay? So my personal view is this one man, one vote shilling is not something that should be adopted in any law, and the Constitution does not support this kind of idea, okay? So, but anyway, the reason why I mentioned that is because, as I've said, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua seems to be in agreement with Raila Odinga. Remember, BBI kind of carried this kind of nonsense. I know I said it before. BBI should have and we should bury this demonic idea of BBI forever and ever and never to be brought up again. Okay? These two colonial stooges, not William Samoei Ruto, but Raila Odinga and despot Uhuru Kenyatta, they, hired the likes of us, Amos Wako, and non-puppets, clowns, to draft this BBI in order to only benefit them. I mean, give props to even Martha Karua, who I strongly disagree with. But even her, she could see through this and say, this BBI is only to benefit the big boys, okay? It's just them giving themselves, creating all these new positions. But this satanic duo and I will lump Ruto on this too. So make it, let me say, just these satanic triplets: Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, and William Ruto. They figured that if they present this BBI proposal as it is called, the Kenyans already rejected it, the courts rejected it, so they wanted to give it a new name, okay? And they call it the, what is it called? This nonsense that Kalonzo Musyoka was NADCO. They kind of repackaged it and called it NADCO. And the court still told them, hey, listen, this is not anchored in law. The process in which these guys went about it, discussed it outside of the parliament, then, proposing things that will require us to go back and have a plebiscite. So the court saw through that bullshit, and they did what was supposed to be done. And I forgot the lady's name, Justice, one of the high court's justice judges, whatever. She ruled and said that NADCO is unconstitutional because this is BBI just be repackaged, okay? So it was thrown out. But these satanic triplets did not stop there. Through their stooges like Wandai and Ichongwa and the rest of them did not stop there. So they said, you know what? Since the Kenyan people do not want to accept this BBI or NADCO, we shall try to pass it line by line. Instead of selling it to the Kenyan people as a package, which they've rejected it in its entirety, now we are going to resell it line by line, okay? Starting from this whole idea of one shilling, one nonsense, okay? Among other things that they are trying to bring up, sneak in line by line, because they've realized that if you present it as a package, the Kenyan people will reject it. So what they'll do is just take some aspect of the BBI and sell it in bits. Okay, sell it in bits. Ask yourself why these colonial puppets have not picked a new IEBC chairperson commissioners, okay? Because they don't want any elections to happen. They don't want the tilt, even they don't want any, the composition of political party in the National Assembly, or let me just say in Parliament. They don't want that arrangement to change. So they are making sure that they'll not choose any IEBC commissioner. So that right now, like there's some counties where, the members of parliament or MCAs died, but we cannot have elections. And this is done by design. The two stooges, the two colonial puppets, the triplets, the satanic triplets, Uhuru Kenyatta, William Samoei Ruto, and Raila Odinga, these guys don't want any election to take place. Okay, that's why they're not choosing the next commissioner. Actually, this falls squarely on William Ruto, the president, who's supposed to choose the selection panel, which should go ahead and choose the next commissioners. But they stopped because they wanted to, have that NADCO nonsense brought in again, which they agreed upon and signed upon it. And now the NADCO, they're trying to squeeze it in unlawfully through the parliament, okay, by bringing bills that support sections and sections of this unconstitutional BBI, aka NADCO proposal, okay? So this is a slick way by these satanic triplets to bring this NADCO nonsense to make it law, okay? But the Kenyan people have rejected it. So the question is, you see, these people have refused. Okay, I see. I have a very good friend of mine. Hey, amerudi. Brother Benson. Wacha nimpatie link aingie mara moja. I want to hear from him immediately. Okay, Brother Benson, let me put the link really quick so you can give us your 2 cents. Brother Benson wakiingia hapa mpaka mpaka tumsikie mambo, ujue mambo bad. All right, okay, here it is. Ngoja kidogo, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to work my stuff. All right, there's the link. Ndio hiyo Brother Ben. So karibu sana. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, and comrades, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Mara moja, okay? Subscribe mara moja. And if you already subscribed, like the video. Usiharibu wakati. All right, let me bring in Brother Benson. Karibu. Ndio huyo. Oh, sorry, I just took you. Sorry. Hey, Brother Benson.
Nango bwana.
Hey, wachane.
Niko poa.
Naona unangmetameta ile ninio ya Kisumu, sijui ulikula samaki ngapi huko. Naona kama you look healthy and happy.
We ate a lot of fish. Kisumu is a very nice city and a very nice county, yes.
What did you bring me? You are just coming hata mkono hata lakini Brother Benson tutakusamea tu for leo, lakini ni sawa tu.
Asante.
Niambie. Wewe ndio unafaa unipatie habari. Brother Benson, for those of you who don't know, Brother Benson have a really nice channel, Brother Benson Media. You can go to his channel and subscribe and like and share. He has wonderful interviews. He just came back from the ground. So I want to hear him tell us what is new. Is Gachagua and Raila 2027? Because they're all agreeing on 1 man, 1 shilling and all that stuff. What's going on?
Politics, everything is possible, you cannot rule it out, but such like conversation is not the very first time we are getting the 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. This is something that has always been there since time immemorial, whereby our brothers from central Kenya feel first of all they give a lot but they get less. That is one. Secondly, it's about the population. They have a higher population, and when it comes to revenue allocation, they almost get the same as those who do not have that higher population. So that is one. So, but it's a conversation that is going on, but I don't think whether it will be actualized, because there's some of the things that if actualized, the politics will not be politics.
Yeah. So don't you see? Okay, now I get why they would say, we are densely populated and maybe revenue-wise, tunalipa ushuru more than other places. But the counter argument is this. If you look at this, central province and all this, Nairobi, historically we've had 3 presidents and they've, to some degree, developed their counties because people go there. Even, those people, it's not only that Kikuyu stays in Kiambu. There are Luos, there are other people who go there because of the opportunity. So other people, as we and this is my position too, we are saying, no, let's not just give money based on the population, because we have places like Nyanza who historically have been ignored, Northeastern, Uko Garissa. They are saying, no, we just need as much money because we need money to develop our counties so we can have these industries. So maybe our population might go up if we have roads and infrastructure that will attract investors, which will attract people to come work in our counties. So why should we have less just because we have 3 people in our county and you people have 10,000 counties? You see what I'm saying?
Yes, and I think the best way, but they could have thought it this way. I still have this opinion that what could have happened was we could have not maybe created more counties, especially like when we look at central Kenya. Yeah, we could have had like central Kenya to have like 1 county with many constituencies, and that one would have created that service delivery, But when you have like 1 area like has like a central Kenya has how many counties, and each and every county has its expenses or that people are getting money from. So the 1 shilling 1 vote idea is a very good idea, but it was messed from the time of the beginning when the constitution was being written. Because I think the constitution, what override when the constitution was written, the tribal card might have played a role. And I think the politicians were so much ahead of the Kenyans on what the devolved government is. Then now is when Kenyans are realizing that, okay, devolved government is not even giving them the real services, even after the 10 years that we've had. So uh, I, I think what can solve that is either by them being given more constituencies based on the population, because that one requires review. What they are
Mhm.
raising is a very is a very something is something that is very pertinent,
Mhm.
but they need to create more constituency, so that you look at what the kind of constituency, the population that you have, and what you're being given in the CDF. That
Mhm.
can also solve that.
To me, I think this falls back to the budgets that
Mhm,
every county has.
mhm,
And like you've said, we have a devolution which we thought will solve this, but devolution pia our governors wanakula pesa. So, I
mhm,
mean, if you look at everything in Kenya, it goes back to corruption, a lack of rule of law.
mhm,
Because in the budgets, let's say if you are Kiambu, the governor of Kiambu, you
mhm,
go, you unatengeneza budget yako, because
mhm,
budget is what shows what you need and how much you can collect from the people and your
mhm.
expenses. Now, for if that money is not enough,
Yeah.
you borrow it from the national government. So,
Yes. And
uh, just to say that we should get more because we have more people. I mean, population plays a factor, but it shouldn't be the main factor that is being considered. Just like, let's say, if I'm governor of Kisumu, let me just use Kisumu.
mhm,
Eh?
mhm,
Kisumu is underdeveloped. Not, I'm just saying. I've not been there. Probably Nyang Nyongo is doing something there. But
yeah.
I'm just saying, I can make my budget as a Nyang Nyongo based on how I want to develop the county and the money that I might need, to bring jobs to Kisumu and all that. So it should be based on the budget and what we are proposing as far what the what's the word the potential of how
Mhm,
much we can get if we develop this historically underdeveloped counties, not just okay. Kisumu County has little people, two people, and Kiambu has 1,000 people. So let's give Kiambu 10 million, give Kisumu, because that one will keep the disparity the way it is, and that unbalance will be there.
Okay, so when it comes to budget, actually, I was having this conversation, because like I was having conversation with even some of the elected leaders, especially like MCAs who are working, and it is not very very very. I still don't understand how it works, because just imagine the money that is collected by the county government. You know, this money is taken back to the treasury or to the national government. Then that's the money that the national government give you another 15% of that revenue allocation that comes back to the county, or the whatever percentage they're giving us. So you find like it's not, the county's government cannot run, because if the money that they are collecting, they still like they have to deposit it to the national government, so that the national government will give it back to you. So what is the essence? Why is it depositing it and then coming back here? And I think there's no clear roles, and we say, like, for instance, like in Kisumu or any other country, there are services that are provided by the national government. For instance, we have things like ID and passport. Those are services that cannot be provided by the county government. So which the money that should go directly to the national government. Yeah.
Mhm.
And let's say a situation whereby you are collecting the parking fees, right? You are
Mhm.
giving those traders money. Why then should this money be taken to the government? Yes, the traders who are there, the places needs to be clean. You know,
Mhm.
the street need to be clean. The revenue that you are collecting from the street should maintain the street. So it's something that even if you say that they should do this budget, and I don't think I still do not understand how it works.
Okay, let me. And I also don't fully understand how it works. I know it's somewhere in the article. I think Article 2 or 3 explains how our money should be, divvied up or whatever the case is. But okay, let's say the treasury collects that money from the county. Let's just use Homa Bay or
Mhm,
Kisumu.
mhm,
They collect, let's say, 300 million. I'm just using a number. Now, you say this money goes back to the treasury.
Yeah,
To
it goes
me,
back to the national government.
okay. But to me, I'm looking at it like I don't know if this is how it works, but if let's say 300 million is collected from Kisumu County, okay, and then 500 million is collected from Kiambu County.
Mhm.
My my assumption, and I might be wrong, anyone who knows about this can correct me. My assumption is when Anyang Nyong'o is making his budget,
Mhm.
he will base his budget based on the 300 million that he collected in his county. Okay. So, and budget sometimes, okay, what you're budgeting for and your expenses.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry, do you have to go? Just let me know anytime if you need to
No,
go.
I'm good.
Okay. So I was saying that every county, they make their budget based on the estimates, potential money that they can collect in their own region. Okay. So
Mhm.
when they're budgeting, they'll base that based on what they collected in the last fiscal year.
Mhm.
So even though the money is being collected by this whatever, the treasury, which is part of national government, I think, or
No.
maybe because they're not independent, I don't think so. But
Yeah.
anyway, so based on that, uh, when the government, the treasury is giving out Nino Pesa,
Mhm.
okay, to these counties, they already know that Anyang Nyong'o was made his budget. I think this is where the controller of budget also does his job. I think they already know Anyang Nyong'o will will make his budget based on how much he can collect, which is, he's using the previous fiscal year that he collected, the 300 million that I gave the example.
Mhm.
And if he needs some more, because he has that 300 million, and maybe if he needs to build extra roads, then he can ask the national government or the treasury to give him extra money for the roads that he wants to build in his county. So even though the treasury, KRA, whatever the case is, and the money goes back to the treasury, but they already know that this budget, that's why I think they usually go by line to see really, I think Ruto was talking about this. I heard him in one interview. He was saying that, of all the proposed budgets from the counties,
Mhm.
there are some things that they had to go line by line and see that, okay, these counties didn't need this money, this. So even though they collected, I think they already, you see what I'm saying? Like they know. Ninile Tule, these guys, what happens, and I hear a lot of people say this, that these guys, they budget for corruption, you know?
What is happening, even if you see, there's an interview that is coming with a nominated member of MCA, especially that sits on agriculture, and I had a very good conversation. I think the video will be coming soon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That when you start to interrogate some of the things you want to know, you come to realize that as a country, even though we might say that we are somewhere, but we still have a long way to go in terms of even our budgeting, in terms of even how money exchange hands, and even how we manage um our debt and our revenues, and even and like somewhere that even people do not even put eye on is on the county. Majority of times we are so much on the national government, forgetting but that we also have the county government that should be a government of its own, you
Right.
know
Mm-hmm.
and so much is happening in the county government that the amount of money that is lost in the county government,
Mm-hmm.
and is a lot of money. you know Sometimes I had a spot check. When you look at my photos, there was a time I was doing Kisumu chapter, I did Migori chapter, I did Homa Bay chapter.
Mm-hmm.
There are places when you just visit, take a visit, and especially even like in our hospital, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it tells you like we are still very, very far, uh, we are still very behind. I can remember there was a time I visited one of the hospital in one of the counties I will not mention, and we went to the ICU.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is that we were forced to take off our shoes and walk barefoot on the floor. We were not given the protective gear or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at maybe the money that is allocated to go towards that, to buy even those things that you should put on your shoes, put on your head. And when we went there, and because it was a friend, and it took them almost 45 minutes to come and pick. The guy had just lost the mother. 45 minutes to be take to the body to be transferred to the mortuary. And the worst part of it was the personnel that were in charge. They were sitting somewhere just doing normal stories.
Like there's no the emergency hapa hivi.
Yeah, and like then you come and look at poor Kenyans. Yeah, yeah. And I had to come in, and at least when I came in and raised this concern, and that's when I saw it triggered something. So
Mm-hmm.
tell me of this other woman who might not be at a position to raise those concerns. What
Mm-hmm.
will happen? So we are still very, very, very much behind. We
You,
are.
yeah, I like what you said because I want to connect it with something that I was having this discussion on another platform about our industries.
Mhm,
And uh, the person that I was having this debate with was telling me, our parastatals, state-owned corporations, they don't perform well. You know, pesa inaibiwa, I mean, the government gives them like 20 million or whatever to support the parastatals, but there's nothing's being done. The working conditions, the machines are old, sijui nini nini nini, the attitude is different, right?
yep. Uh,
Then, so they
mm,
were arguing that it is better off we sell them or lease them to private companies because private companies are efficient. Hakuna hiyo mchezo mchezo mingi mingi, unaona. So
mhm,
my argument was this, and it connects with the same scenario you gave me with the hospitals.
mhm,
Why don't, if the government gives you 20 million Kenyan shillings to revitalize the equipment na hiyo mambo ingine,
mhm,
why don't we look at our parastatals? And I want to use your hospital, that case in your hospitals.
mhm,
Government ikipeana pesa kwa hiyo hospitali
mm,
to buy new equipment, okay, should they have expectations, have us kind of some mechanism where you can see the type of care that people are receiving there, make sure people are not sitting around at wamekaa tu chini hivi vile unasema you have a patient here who needs something na watu wamekaa wanapiga story, just if you're going to invest in these hospitals and these parastatals and all this stuff,
mm.
isn't why shouldn't we have that accountability, brother Benson? You've been there, you saw it.
The account.
Even the governor, can they do something and hire people who just you see, and I'll finish with this before I get your answer. Si unaona huku ngambo,
eh,
whatever,
eh,
the government has they come in the hospitals, they come and do every month or every year, they usually come and do the what do you call it, they come and check.
spot check, and if
Thank
the
you.
equipments are up to date.
The workers, they are being wanna be, they get questions. This patient kwa nini ako hivi? What happens if this question? You understand what I'm saying? Why
Mhm.
don't we have that if we are going to give money to this? Because I think that will help them to avoid that whatever you just described. Thank you.
It is in us, especially the environment where we've become as a country. That's why, like, even if the government revamp a company or do something, it is in our country whereby if you want a medication for your kid, you still want to have a commission for you to be paid for. That's the kind of society that we have. So, and until even as Kenyans develop a mentality of putting yourself in somebody's shoes, you know,
Mhm.
And that one we will know even what we call service delivery. Yeah.
And
It should be in me, like, let's say, like, I'm going through something and I need that help.
Mhm.
Once you've gotten the help, so it requires you also to give it back. So if we had that kind of attitude, and we have what we call the people-centered service delivery, whereby if the money is allocated for 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 certain project or for certain hospital, it has to be utilized to full of it without somebody benefiting. You know, why our private hospital doing better than government, yet the same people is the same doctors who are running private are this,
Mhm.
they went to the same schools that the
Yes.
government, the personnel that you cannot tell me the reception at the government hospital is quite much different with the receptionist
Yes.
they went to the same school, they went to the same training. Why is it that is performing well? So it is we've reached a point whereby we've become so numb to fellow Kenyans, especially when you're given positions. And some people take those positions with a lot of pride, like with a lot of intimidation. So we are still very far, my friend. Sometimes if you spot check these areas, my friend,
Mhm.
I
So
tell you.
and that's where I want to go before I ask you more about Kisumu. I saw a lot of interviews you did with very interesting people. Brother Benson's channel nakuambia ukitaka kuona interesting people, go there. Musi, hey, people, if you're watching Brother Benson Media, muka subscribe immediately.
Eh,
Um, that's why I say it starts with leadership. So
mhm,
let's say if I was the governor of that county that you went in that hospital,
mhm,
these are the things that I would do, because there's state laws that require how you regulate the hospital, and also there's national. But
mhm.
ndio nasema hapo ndio, as a governor, this is also another way of actually employing people. We unaweza kuapisha watu ambayo they go to this hospital to see, and as Goodyear is telling us in that comment that I highlighted, here we call it a quality team. They turn up in this hospital and announce, and they check the spot checking that you're talking about, and they look
Yes.
at these things.
Mhm.
See, and this is the point I was making, and I want to make it again. And you gave a perfect example, saying the receptionist in that private hospital is just as qualified and is the same as that in your government hospital.
Yes.
So why should we give up these industries and to give it a private sector and say private sector is more efficient, while we can actually change
Mhm.
this government run hospital or industry and have more strict? It starts with the government leadership, governor, eh, waeke watu wapo to make sure that these people are on their toes and are providing high quality care to our people.
And at the same time, I was in Kenya when doctors went on strike that day, and I would spot, our health sector, my friend.
Uh,
One thing that I think I still pray that the experts in our country would still look into the health sector and at least come up with something that will work. Because for me, I still believe that the health sector, the way it is not going to work. And the reason why I'm saying health sector might not work, forget about even the payment or even the clinicians. I think like they're still on strike, right? I
mhm,
don't know whether they went back to work. Um, the 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 biggest part that we kind of like did not look into the katiba that we had. We had a very good katiba with a very good intention for our country, but the implementers and the people who took on leadership, some people might have brokerage, the brokerage of this constitution ni kama makatel walikuwa, kwa sababu
mhm.
unaenda hospitali, hata dawa yenyewe nyimbo nasema madaktari walipwe ndio wapate, ndio hata wao lakini wagonjwa je,
Mm.
wako na madawa?
Madawa hakuna.
Na ukiangalia hiyo list ya KEMSA, watu ambao wana counties the way they owe KEMSA, where did those money go? Where did those medication that were taken from KEMSA go? If you see that list over billions and billions that the counties are owing KEMSA. Where did those medication go?
You see, everything goes back to corruption and the lack of rule of law, respect of rule of law.
Yeah. So
that is the biggest in you. Endelea pole.
until that time, we will realize what we want. The constitution that we have was a borrowed. It was not ours.
To me, I don't think the constitution is the problem. Even if you bring a constitution that is ours, the problem is some people feel like the law is just ni karatasi.
Si ndio hiyo nakwambia kwa sababu and I'm telling you will agree with me. I still believe this, yeah. For instance, when you come to the leadership, let's say like political leadership positions, when you look them in microscopic way, the leadership sometimes were not made to serve Kenyans. And
why is that?
I will give you a typical example. What is the work of deputy governors?
I have no idea what their function is. To help the governor?
Yeah, there's a, and after that, come to the duplication of roles. When you come to duplication of roles, especially when it comes to education and all money that goes down, the MP has what he gives, the women rep has what he gives, and all this goes to education. They will give it to MCA. Yeah. And remember, these people are in the same locality. So what is the criteria you're going to use, especially to disburse this money?
You're talking about the what do you call it? The e-pesa wanapatianga MC wapatie. I mean, sorry, wanapatianga MPs wapatiane
women rep pesa wanasema. Kwa sababu even like those
bursary or something like that,
yeah,
or something. Yeah.
It is not given on, they don't give it to everybody. It is given selectively. Yeah. If to say today, if I was thinking, let's say like in my constituency, I was in a country, we have like 20 people that I know are coming from Migori County, and we know that these people need bursaries. And these people, they have the government data. Yeah. They are 20 from different. Why then would I have like 1 million, then say I'm giving 20 million to you to give to girl child, then I'm giving another 2 million for, and these people, why then can we have a one portal and we know the statistics that we have, and we know we have 20 people who are going to a particular high school, and this is what we have, then we disburse, rather than we have one command center for all. Yeah. And then we know, then that one is going to be like a neutral ground whereby the haves and the have not will get the money, because it's acted under portal with the same government, same office.
Yes.
Yeah. But here, let's say if maybe one time you did not support the MCA, and he has that, do you think he's going to give you that money?
Okay. Yes, I see what you're saying.
So I think like we as time goes, then coming again to the deputy governor. Yeah. Do you see like it is? Does it work? For instance, we are talking of CIA. I want you to tell me if
why are you beating Oduol, my friend?
No, Oduol is a good guy, but right now when we are talking, it say that they've not been speaking for the longest time. Oduol, the rumors that I have is not confirmed on the street, because I was there. That sometimes he fuel his own car. His car is not being fueled, just because they have differences with the governor. So my question is, if this guy is going to be here, they're not talking with the governor for the rest of their administration, tenure. Yeah. Now, what purpose is he serving? It can still be, governor can still run the county without the deputy governor.
Yeah, but I think he has specific functions that I can't, remember off my head.
The deputy governor does not have specific. His function has to be assigned a function by the governor.
I have to look at what the constitution say about that. I that's why I don't want to quote. And you might be right. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
and laws need to be put in place. And I want to bring you again to Kisi, because because like this is kind of like our leadership is intimidating. See what happened to Kisi. That guy was though he did wrong, yeah, but I can give you another scenario
Who's
of
the governor there? Arati.
Arati. His governor was impeached the other day. I mean the deputy, remember?
Oh, yes. I forgot his name.
Yeah. And another, I can also give you
What was
another.
the reason?
I don't know how he asked for some bribe for a certain guy there that to be employed, a lot of money. And I just bring another scenario. There was another scenario also in Migori, yeah. And in the morning session, the speaker was just okay, yeah. Coming in the afternoon, the MCS decided, and this guy was impeached. And this guy was impeached without following the due process, and a new speaker already in place. So
Where was this?
Migori.
Did they go to court?
I don't know whether Owino Jalikoa, the Mheshimiwa Owino Likoa went to court, but I know Rosana is now the and it tells you like sometimes it is not about serving of Kenyan people.
Yes.
It's about the interest that the positions
and what you can get from that kitty.
And what you can get. And I tell you, the devolution, if you look at it very keenly, the devolution was political more than service. Devolution was political more than service delivery, because even if you go to our counties, yeah, look at how people are being employed. Yeah, you employ your people. You employ those who can sing, can dance to your tune.
Right,
and
literally.
Even if you look at how they give the position of the governor is not given because you've qualified, but among other things that they might be looking for, they're looking for what is the population of your tribe, because it's balancing off. It's not about service delivery. It's about balancing off. For instance, for example, like Siaya, I might be wrong in my analysis, but if you look at Siaya, I don't think like Oduol was DG Oduol was brought on board because they shared the same vision with His Excellency James Orengo.
You think so? I think he did. He said
the ideology were not matching.
I think they did. I mean, based on what Oduol was saying when he went to Spice FM, he said that everything was well. Ideologically, they were aligned. But then, when money started, getting lost, is when things started getting hot.
But why? Why would, if we share the same ideology, and our ideology is to improve the life of the people of Siaya, and the initial agreement was that Oduol was supposed to be as a manager, then His Excellency was supposed to do the legal part of framework.
Right.
Yeah, but now, when the money starts exchanging hands, where counter and counter accusation, and the money that is lost is they're accusing themselves of the money. This is the money that is meant for people of Siaya.
Yeah, but it's a human thing, because even if you look at, just to throw as South Africa, Ramaphosa was one of the people who are struggling for independence for South Africa. But now look at Ramaphosa. He's not anyone's favorite. So what I'm trying to say is,
no, let me tell you. You're talking of Ramaphosa. Maybe you don't. For a little history I have, there's something that really happened in South Africa in 2013. That is, we call it the Marigana massacre. And I don't know whether you've there's some of the leaders who don't deserve to lead in Africa, and he was accused because these were Africans who were asking for better pay in the gold mines.
Yeah.
But when they started to protest, the live bullets in 2013, they were shot in 20, butchered,
Yes.
and Ramaphosa is said to be he's accused and confirmed information because
he was behind that
because he had shares in the mine.
Yes. Yeah. So the point I was making with even that point with the Oduol and James Orengo, let's say, for example, even let's use me and you. We can agree. Let's run for whatever county, Kisumu County,
yes.
And we campaign. We ideologically we see eye to eye. tunapata cheo. Mimi ni governor, we ni deputy. Yeah, you know that, like one of my friend I was talking to, and he say, you know, that seat has high cholesterol, and is very sweet. Yeah, so you know, when you get power, Brother Benson, when you get power, right now we are advocating for change, but when, let's say, we put you on that seat where you have power, that when we shall see who the real Brother Benson is, because there's so much money coming through the county, you will be tempted. There are people who are coming there telling you, Brother Benson, I can give you 10 million every week. Just let me do this, and that, and that. And if you listen to Brother Nani, Sonko in that interview with what's that guy called?
Obina Show.
Not Obina Show. I didn't watch that one. He had one with Kibe.
Oh, Kibe, okay.
Ifi, whatever. And he was saying that he was receiving money every day. I don't know how many million. So I'm saying, when they put you in that position, if you don't have integrity, you'll be, that's where your real character is really challenged. So it's one thing when you are running for the office, is another thing when you actually take the seat and you're sitting there and you're seeing these millions being flashed in your face every day.
But when you take their money, they will come back for you. So that is another secret that we also have to know.
Yeah, that's why, once you take it, you have to stay with their script.
Yeah, and even if you stay with their script, but at some point they will come back to you. But
depending on who they are, I don't know who they. But let me ask you now.
Yeah,
I saw this new political party. I think it's the Green Party. I watched a little bit of that interview from your channel, and please, if you're watching this channel, please go to Brother Benson and subscribe and look at his interviews. Now, I want to. How is their influence? What are they about? It seems like it's. I saw it that I don't know what was going on. Can you just expound on that a little bit?
Okay. It's called the Green. Is it Green Movement Democratic Party? And this party. That day I was with Honorable Agustino Neto. I was with Miguna.
You were with Miguna?
Yep. He was there launching that party. Even if
you didn't interview him.
No, we were supposed by the time we clashed. The time was not there. Yeah, but these are one thing that is happening that I've realized with the majority of young people of Kisumu is that not Kisumu generally, but young people are now spreading their wings. Yeah, they want to go into the leadership, and they feel maybe they should not go through one way. So a Green Party is offering another
that avenue,
that alternative for them. But I know right now Agustino Neto might be there, but sources say that is for Honorable Ogindo. He's the owner of that party.
Okay.
But they were just coming to campaign for their party, and there was no chaos. They did their party, they left, and that's how it is.
How do you see it? I mean, it's new, so maybe you might not gauge. But did you see people who are excited? Were there people showed up? A good number of them? Because I think the same afternoon, Babu Wino went to Kondele and had a.
That was the following day.
Oh, that was the following day. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And he had a riotous reception from people of Kondele. In fact, people are saying, "Hey, Babu Wino is not waiting to be given; he's taking power."
Yes, at least there's that a little bit reception of young people trying to have alternative ways in which they can go to parliament. But I think it's still a long way to go. But there's a signs that they are getting their ways out. And I was even very, very, very lucky to have a conversation to meet young aspirants. And one thing that really surprises me was the young people who are vying, those who are in the UDA, those who are in different political parties, and these young people, they love one another. They sit together, and I say, if you can continue with this, and that is something that really, really surprised me. Like majority of them would sit together and they're just doing stories, and they have different political parties.
Oh, that's good.
And I say,
there's tolerance.
That tolerance is there, big one, and they'll just be doing stories, and they even like it was a nice, and I say, like, if you can continue like this, you have different political parties, all what you want is to serve the people of your area, whether you go with ODM, you go with Green Party, you will still come and serve the people of that area. That is the main aim of you going for that leadership. You want to serve your people, so it doesn't matter what way are you going to get into power. But
So would you say that the people, they've seen the political, the leaders that are there are not providing them with what they need, so they feel like they have to do it themselves? Would you say that, or if I'm getting you right, how is that what you're saying?
yeah,
That they,
I
Mhm.
feel like by them having that tolerance, it shows that it's maturing,
Mm.
and it's they are challenging the structure that has been there before.
Mhm.
Yeah. And maybe another thing also, I came with, I might be wrong, and I came to realize that especially like in Onagi Nation, in terms of leadership, we have the age gap, and I call it the
Mm.
ageism.
Right, right.
The ageism is that around 80% of the leaders in Nyanza are not young people.
You-
Majority of them are aged. We don't disrespect them,
Yeah,
but I think they should blend at least the old, the young, so that, because like there's a generational change,
yeah, yeah.
because I was just thinking, like, when you look at Nandi, especially a typical example I usually give Nandi County, we have His Excellency Sang. Sang
Mm-hmm.
has not clocked 50 years. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
is doing his second term in politics.
Even Sudi,
Eh,
Mkarabati.
Mkarabati, forget about Mkarabati, the Senator Cherargei,
Yes.
these are people who
Kirege,
are
I
not,
think is, yeah, he's almost there. Yeah,
yeah,
but they're young.
they're young. Come to Bomet, there's Toto. Even like MCA, if you check the MCAs at, especially in Rift Valley, they tend to be young people. So my question is, I was just asking, like, when do you think somebody of Sang's age who is still running for an MCA, yes, and he still doesn't know whether he will get it because
Yeah,
intrigues.
yeah, yeah.
Yet Sang is doing his last term.
Mm-hmm.
So which means in terms of vying for presidency, Sang
Mm-hmm.
can go for presidency very easily because like he's at the peak.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But you,
So
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, when I think about the Onagi Nation, I think, like you said, there's a slow transition, because if you look at the leaders in Onagi Nation, I mean, from the Kingpin and his friends,
Mm,
Raila Odinga, James Orengo, these are the people who have been there for a while. They've been our so-called leaders. Okay,
mhm, mhm,
they were in that, was this second liberation or whatever the case is. So now, I mean, nature is taking its course. They are there, up there in age. Okay,
mhm,
and now we are realizing that, hey, you know what, these people, they're not going to be our leaders forever.
mhm,
Okay, because now you can see Raila, okay, probably will go to AU. Orengo is also not a young man.
mhm,
Anyang Nyong also has been there for a while. I mean, if you look at these people, these are people who have been there
mm.
for a long time.
Yes.
So now the young people are feeling, maybe, you know what, it's time to, we are going to do, first of all, we are like you just described, which I'm very happy to hear, that, they might be in different political lineal, but they are wanaongea, okay?
Wanaongea.
Yeah. So maybe, the transition is taking place slowly, but it will, it will be I don't know how it will pan out, because maybe we are still waiting, Luos, we respect our leaders, and Nani, most likely the younger people that will come in will have to, maybe, I don't know how it, but I'm thinking they'll have to wait for the generation of Wakina Baba and Rengo to bless the next coming people after that. I don't know if that's how it is, but maybe you can tell me, because
Uh,
yeah.
Yes, it might be, but sometimes also it will not, because they are. By the way, something that I came to realize, it's not like that. We
It's not.
the Onagi Nation. I tell you, Onagi
Eh.
Nation has very bright young leaders, like those that they've tried the opportunity to run for this political seat. Maybe just because they do not have money, but I tell you, if those clique of leaders could get into power,
Mm.
it will transform the Onagi Nation. That is something that I'm very certain of, because these are people who are vying for the places that they've lived. They were born there. They know the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
These are people who have gone to school through hardship. Their mothers were just selling um, bloggers on the street, so they understand what it takes to go for those leadership posts. Yeah, is that like they've not been blessed to have that big financial muscles to fight the big names, but I pray that those guys get into the leadership. Those guys are brilliant, I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Not in Kisumu, in Homa Bay, go to Migori. I went all the way to Guasi. Actually, I wanted to go and confirm about the tarmac road that is
Yeah.
being done after 15 years. It is true. I went to Guasi, a place called Magunga, all the way.
Mm.
I
That's
went.
stomach.
Yeah, Omondi Karoli is doing it. I don't know whether but it's being done in Omondi Karoli's time. So after 15 years, since independence, this is the first time, the first one.
Yeah.
The tarmac road now
But
is being
but,
done.
but Karoli is in bad terms with Baba.
Even though he's in bad time with Baba, but like the history would give him his side.
Oh, he has
So
done
yeah,
his thing. He did his.
the first member of parliament in Guasi, in when you go to Suba to
Yeah.
bring a tarmac road, is Karoli.
Mm.
Whether it's through national government or whatever, but
He did it
in
during his time.
his time, that's history will judge him for after 15 years of Honorable Mbadi. But
Oh, that's
yeah.
good. Well, last question.
Mhm.
Muguka. Tell me, Muguka, should it be legalized? What is going on? I'm hearing Muguka.
Mogoka, sasa unajua hii ni saa zingine unajua hii saa zingine inaweza kuwa ni siasa pia. Watu wa Mombasa pia kitu ambao wanasema ni cha kweli kweli, unaona, lakini I think the best way that could be done, because there should be a regulation. They should regulate it rather than banning it.
Mm.
Yeah, and they have to look at it in terms of how can the Mombasa people regulate it at the same time you generate revenue.
Mm.
Yeah, not
Well,
just to ban it like that, because let's take for example, you are here, there are places that marijuana is being sold,
yes, yes.
but there's a quantity that you have to have, which means if
Mm-hmm.
you have more than that, that is
Mm.
it's legal or is illegal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is the best opportunity even for these our counties now to start legislate what we call the county laws. You know that it's only where we have the
Yes.
county government, but they do
Mm.
not have laws that governs the county government.
I,
They
yes. I want to look into that. Can county bring up their laws where they can restrict something like that?
yeah. So when you go to majority of these our counties, even the MCA, I don't know whether they have what we call the county laws. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what
Mhm.
governs the counties, and and how what fine should we pay, because for example, if the things like Mogoka, the Mombasa people will say, okay, the amount that we should consume
Mhm.
will be this. If you consume
Yes.
more than that,
Fine.
then there's a fine, and that's how you will generate your income.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
brother Benson.
they should look it that way.
2027 baba atashinda ama anaenda AU?
um siamini, unajua hii ndazungumza na wewe siku ingine.
Okay. Sawa, brother Benson. Thank you for making my day. I'm so glad you came back. I believe umerudi huko kwa nyumba huku. Umerudi maju. Okay. You're not somewhere in Kisumu hapo.
Nimerudi na still
Haukushikwa na
have
malaria?
No, I'm the son of the soil. The son of the soil.
You're immune.
I'm son of the soil, bwana.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
so glad to. Literally, you made my day. You made my day. Thank you so much for stopping by.
And for your fans who are watching you, just come to Brother Benson Media, and these are conversations that I had even with the former Kisumu speaker Onyango Lo, a very interesting fella. Some of these our leaders just have a one-on-one conversation with them. I met several leaders just because they were busy, we could not be able to do the interviews.
Yeah.
But when you have one-on-one with these, they tell you some of the things that you don't believe and say like, oh, we are still far.
Yeah.
We are bado tuko nyuma
I
baba.
need you to connect me with Prof. Hewa mpya, whatever.
Prof.
Prof mpaka tuongee. I saw he went to jail today, is out, but anyway, I
I
don't
need
want to.
I need to text him. I ask Prof, what happened?
We need to have a triple discussion. To connect me. I want to talk to Prof. I like Prof. So
Okay.
fanya hiyo kitu. But thank you so much, Brother Benson. Everyone, if you are watching this, go to Brother Benson Media right now and like all of his video and subscribe mara moja. Na sio tafadhali, ni tafadhali.
Okay, sawa.
Thank you so
And
much.
for my friend Goodia, thank you so much,
Yes.
my brother. Goodia is just amazing. So
Goodia is amazing. I don't know what to do with this Goodia. Hey.
May God continue blessing you and
Yes.
bless you. Thank you so much, my brother, for your time, and may God bless you too.
No problem. Thank you so much. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Brother Benson. Hey, I've finished 1 hour. I'm glad. I came here, I didn't even have a serious whatever, but Brother Benson made my day. You had the politics. Thank you so much. Shetani. Shetani Mdudu wewe. I don't know his name. I don't know who that is. But he's subscribed here. Thank you, Shetani. Let me not say that. I feel wrong saying that. I can't thank Shetani. I'll just call you Dudu wewe. Thank you so much for and everyone who's watching on X. Thank you so much for joining me. Pia nani was Gudia kama kawaida, you know the deal. Thank you so much, guys. Like the video, and if you haven't subscribed, go subscribe. My name is right there. Utanipata huko kwa ninio Kenya Revolutionary ninio. Go like my videos, subscribe, and do all that stuff. Okay, I have to leave. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later. Peace and blessings.